Welcome back, guys. This is Pastor's Coffee. This is episode 8. It's good to see you guys again this week. Nate, what's been going on, buddy?
Nothing much. Doing a pretty good week. Steelers won last week, so
Yeah, yeah.
been good. So just normal week for me, and then next week with Thanksgiving, we'll calm it down a little bit
Yeah,
and get ready for Christmas season. So,
yeah, yeah.
how about you?
Yeah, it's been kind of a steady week. I've been, a lot of you know, I'm coaching high school basketball now, so that adds a little bit of time
Hmm.
um, to the rest of the stuff that I got going on. It's about 2 to 3 hours every night now. Um, and the problem with that is not to overshare, but this is they've got the high school gym's been renovated, so it's almost done, but we don't get to get in there until after next week. So between all of your teams, guys, girls, middle school, high school, we're all sharing pretty much one gym. Sometimes we can get in the auction with the high school, but it's all these different teams and even like your cheerleaders and stuff like that, all trying to get into one gym, and there's just not enough time in the day.
Hmm.
So we've been going 8 to 10, which is a little late, but
Yeah.
it's almost done. So yeah, adding that, I just feel like this week I haven't been home a whole lot with obviously working here, services, and then helping that. But it's been nice. It's a big change from playing. It's a huge
The
change.
coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's weird because like there would be some times when I was playing that I would try and stop the practice and maybe try and help out some of my teammates, especially like my junior and senior year. Um, but now just knowing that I can hit my whistle and stop the practice and then break them down and I can tell them to
Hmm.
get on the line and run. It's
Yes,
it's
sir.
fun. But
Uh,
uh
yeah.
no, go for it. What'd you say?
Oh no, I am ready for that day where I can just get them on the line, and
And
I
you
don't
don't have to
have
be the
to
one doing
run.
it. Oh man, it's a great
Oh
feeling. It is a great feeling because
man,
I
I'm
hear
ready.
myself saying it. I hear myself saying it. I get PTSD. I'm like, oh man, I gotta get ready. But I don't have to run now.
Yep.
So
Oh, it's
it's
beautiful.
it's nice. Yeah, it is nice. So that's been kind of my week. We this I usually do 3 messages a week. This Sunday night we're kind of joining with um, the rest of the congregation on a Sunday night. Um, so only had to do 2 messages this week. So I actually took a little bit off my workload for this week, but I've been able to meet with some people, had lunch with a couple members, and got to catch up and try and counsel. So that's been good. But
It's been good, man.
yeah, what is as far as your work week and stuff? But how's your ministry been? What have you been teaching through? Maybe some updates on
Yeah.
what you guys have done.
Um, recently, well, I mean, we've had our activities. We did flag football last week, and then the week. What did we do in October? I forgot already.
It all jumbles
Oh, we
together,
had a
man.
lock-in. Lock-in. That's
Oh,
right.
how'd you forget that, man?
Oh, I already got it out of my mind. Um, yeah, cause yeah,
I've got one
October
coming
was
up.
yeah. It's anyway. But we've been going through the same series since I've been here. I have a cold. Um, but we've been going through First Thessalonians in Sunday school, and we're just on chapter 3 so far. Really kind of slow with it, and just kind of moving through it slowly, trying to get them to show them, hey, this is how we look at the Bible and we
Yeah,
study it, not just, oh, here's a passage, we read through it, and I talk a little bit. Trying to get them interacting at least a little bit,
I like that.
um,
Yeah,
get some known like background facts that you could say, like when it was written, who wrote it,
yeah,
what the church was looking like at that point. So it's been good.
yeah,
And then we play Wordle in the morning, so we'll have a breakfast here coming up, hopefully,
yeah,
if they can get the Wordle. Um, but and then on Sunday nights we're still going through Jesus' characteristics. There's a lot of them, so
yeah,
I've been trying to do one a week and trying to get through it. And then um, Wednesday nights we have Awana, so we're kind of just all helping out there. But
yeah.
we're going through a book together. I'll go
Cool.
with the guys, and I'll go with the girls, and we're going through Begin by Ken Ham. It's more of a
Yeah.
commentary, which is a little harder to kind of interact with.
Right.
But it's still been good.
Yeah.
But you have a smaller crowd for Wednesday nights with Awana and everything, and
Yeah.
so. But yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I've been since the last time I think we gave an update. I've been through a couple different series. So yeah, I don't try. I mean, we do 3 different series: Sunday morning, Wednesday night, Sunday night. And I try to give myself 30 minutes for each one. Sunday mornings, we're finishing up Hebrews, and I pretty much did a chapter a week on that. There was a couple where I split it up, but we were able to get through it in 13 weeks. On Wednesdays, we're going through Psalm 119, and I'm doing 2 sections of it. Obviously, there's 22 sections in it, but two per week, and that's been really cool. I'm giving the kids at the end an opportunity to pray out loud, and a lot of times, I mean, I'll just close in prayer, but a huge part of Psalm 119 is learning how to pray and what to pray for, and I thought that's been special, getting to hear the kids open up about what's on their heart and finding out what matters to them, because if they pray about it, a lot of times it's what they're thinking about. So that's been cool to see. I felt like we've all kind of grown closer because of it. We've only been, I think yesterday was 3 weeks ago that I started. So, but Sunday nights we just finished up a series on the Beatitudes, and that was pretty cool in Matthew 5. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities with the Beatitudes in Psalm 119, and I didn't know that before I got into it, which was kind of cool.
Cool, yeah.
But other than that, we have a kind of a mission this Saturday that we're doing. We're partnering with Samaritan's Purse that do the Christmas shoe boxes. So we're all going to help. The youth will help pack boxes. They'll get to watch videos and testimonies of the kids receiving the boxes, and I always think that's super cool.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great ministry, but yeah, we'll help out with that. And then to incentivize them to be there, I'm taking them to Sky Zone afterwards. So it'll be fun.
Hey, there you go.
Haven't decided
I would
if
show
I'm
up.
going to do it. Oh man, Sky Zone, I will never forget.
Yeah.
We won't get into it, but that was the most fun I've ever had. But we, so I haven't decided if I'm gonna jump yet or if I'm just gonna supervise, but we'll see. Depends how I'm feeling.
You'll see once there's a basketball court maybe there or something.
Yeah,
Do they
I
have
might
basketball
have to.
court?
They don't have the full court, but they have the hoops where you can dunk on. So I don't know. It might just have to come out of retirement. I don't know.
You might have to.
But speaking of ministry, one thing that we haven't really talked about here yet, and I thought it'd be cool to cover. It's very controversial. I don't think it really should be, but it is. So I want to get your thoughts first. What is your view on the overall music controversy in our church today? Maybe give an update. I don't know. You don't have to share what your church does, but your personal philosophy. How do you view music in the church?
Yeah. Well, I think overall, as music, we'll get to types of music, but I think as an overall, if the music in itself is glorifying to God, and that's the act of it. I'm singing these verses and choruses and bridges, and I'm thinking, oh, these are praising God, praising Him for who He is, without knowing what type of music it is. I think that's worthy enough for our standards,
Agreed.
to praise the Lord. And whether that is a hymn, whether that is contemporary, whether that's a certain artist, I think that it is good enough for us to praise the Lord with. And why I say good enough, because we truly can't praise Him enough.
Right.
We can't. There's no amount of music we do that's going to praise Him near good enough. So, but when it comes down to it, I like the way my church does it. We have an opening hymn, and you get the older type of piano.
Right.
We don't have an organ or anything, but you get that slower, older type, and honestly, the hymns, I think they are more sound. I think they put a lot more effort into the words back in the
Doctrine.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think those are more sound than contemporary songs today. Not that they aren't.
Yeah.
But I think today a lot of what is controversial is, a lot of today is just about the sound of it.
Style.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And so today, yes, it does. I like it better than a piano playing,
Yeah.
um, but I think they're both worthy enough to sing for a church service. If
Yeah.
you're,
Yeah.
um, now I think you do need to look at the words and stuff before putting it out, because there are some great sounding songs out there, and they're just terrible words, or they're just not very deep at
Yeah.
all, and you're just like, what are we singing? But it sounds great, but what are we
Yeah.
singing?
No, I
Um,
agree.
and I really think contemporary and then hymns are really what can be kind of played in a church as like a congregational worship. I think special music is different when it's just one person up there. That can be a little different.
Uh-huh.
Um, but those are kind of my thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, does it glorify God in what you're singing? Um, and when you're taking your focus on, oh, how am I going to sound good, or how well am I going to play guitar, or how well am I going to play the drum, if you're taking the glory and showing yourself off, then I think it does become invalid.
Agreed.
um, and so even with your voice, people have amazing voices out there,
Yep.
but when you're taking the attention off of what we're supposed to be worshiping, and that is the Lord,
Yeah.
then I think it becomes invalid, is what I'm going to call it. But
Yeah.
how about you?
Um, yeah, I'm going to have to just echo pretty much what you said. You covered it really well. I think my biggest issue with it is how much of a controversy it is in our churches. Now, there's a couple reasons, and I think there's a couple of justified reasons it could be controversial, and that's exactly what you're saying when it becomes performance based. And I will say there's some churches that I've seen, and man, they need to be charging an arm and a leg to get in there because you've got flashy lights and you've got all these
Hmm.
things. I'm not saying that's direct sin, but it's look at what we can do up on this stage, not look at what he's already done, you know. And I think that's what we have to be super careful of because our generation, we are wowed by what we see. We like loud music. We like all these
Hmm.
things just because we've kind of grown up with it. So it does
Yeah.
get the younger generation involved. So there is a thin line, you know. I think the most important part is the lyrics of the songs and the heart of the performers.
Hmm.
Those are the two things. If the lyrics are sound, um, and the performers up there feel a calling from God to do what they do. You know, they feel that the Lord has led them to do this, and it is all out of praise to Him. I mean, the Bible says, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord." You know, sing
Not
praises
out
unto
of
the
the
Lord.
piano or out of the
It's
organ, whatever.
no instrument distinction
Yep.
there. You know, and I remember getting ABC, and not that I loved my time there, but I grew up as a drummer. You know,
Hmm.
played drum set for my church. Played a lot of drums growing up, and I mean, I thought I was the biggest sinner out of the bunch because I just knew how to beat on the drum a little bit, and
Yeah.
because I just knew that was not a thing there, and I think you see that in so many churches. We're scared to try new things. I think
Hmm.
the best model that you're seeing, where you're seeing churches not with one demographic, with multiple demographics, and the church is supposed to be united. It's supposed to bring all different walks of life. I think the best churches that are modeling this are blended services. When you have a little bit of contemporary, a little bit of traditional, because there's so much that we can learn from each other. I think music is this bridge that we got in our church that we can bring the older generation with the younger generation, and we can
Hmm.
relate instead of fighting so much to no, this is my music. Well, this is my music. I go to a church now, and a lot of people disagree with it. And I grew up in a church the exact same way, so I'm used to this. But we do two different services. We do a contemporary first, and then we do a traditional after.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think the older congregation goes to? The traditional service. Okay, and it's the opposite for the other. And these people aren't getting to see each other as much as they need to, as the body, you know. And I grew up in a church just like it, you know, that we did the same thing, because you had one group saying, well, I want this type of music. You have another group saying, well, I want this. Well, wouldn't a great way to be united and to show compromise and to show that we're all one body be to have a blended service? And I think it's perfect. Now, I don't care if you get up there and rap, as long as it's glorifying to God. Now, would I be uncomfortable, especially in my church, hearing somebody rap
Yes,
up there
you
and
would.
hearing bass boosted everywhere? Probably. But as long as it's glorifying to God, man, it shouldn't matter. And it shouldn't matter if it's 50 beats a minute with a drum beat that sounds like a hip hop song, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all about the intent of the performers and the doctrine in the song. And if that's good, man. I went to a Lauren Daigle concert, and Brandon Lake was there too. He's got this song called Gratitude I love, but also a song called Coat of Many Colors that he just dropped. And man, he's becoming one of my favorites. But they had this one, they broke the show in half, and usually one performs and the other comes on and performs. Well, they both get on stage at the same time, and they just have a few worship songs that they do, just them two. You know, not any of their own songs, but just worship songs that everybody knows. And hearing that whole place, you know, this packed out arena, sing these worship songs together, it just made me think about heaven. And I wasn't thinking, well, this isn't a hymn, we shouldn't be doing this. No, we're all trying to praise God, you know, all together. And I think about heaven, what it'll be like, and we always think, well, are we just gonna be praising God the whole time? And if that's what it feels like, I'll do it all day long, because it was amazing, you know. So it's knowing who He is. It is frustrating to see how much controversy it brings. I understand it, but I've never fell into that. There's definitely some songs that bother me because they're not as scripturally based as I'd like, and I don't think we should use those, you know. And I don't have all the answers, but that's how I feel. It's kind of it's a crazy controversy, and there's a bunch more.
Yeah, I like what you said about the blended serve, and I think that's how ours is. You know, we sing some hymns, we sing some contemporary, and there's more in one service than we only have one service, but there's more in some services of hymns and then the other, and but we have everybody in there, and it's great. Like we were looking at 1 Thessalonians 2 a couple Sundays ago, and you know, Paul, off topic, but you know, Paul calls Timothy his brother. Timothy's a lot younger than Paul, and a different walk, way younger, less experienced, less wise as Paul is. But he still calls him his brother. And that means we're the same. You know, we're here together. We're going through the same walk in life, and that's to try to glorify God in whatever we do.
Exactly right.
And when you have division in your church like that, and you have, you know, the older generation going to a hymn service, you have the younger generation going to a contemporary service, you know, it's and it, you know, they don't get to see each other and learn from each other. You know, us as younger people, we're supposed to be learning from the older, and the older learning from us, because we have experienced this world in a different way that they have. So I think it's great that to have blended service, and not one is better than the other. Again,
it's exactly right. Yes. So there isn't a tier list of instruments in the Bible where this is more important than the other. So
as long as your voice is lifting up praises to the Lord, that's what matters. So anything else to add to that?
I don't think so. No, I think that covered. But it's just it's interesting to think where churches come from and where they end up. And a lot of times when we say so stagnant, is when you die.
Mm-hmm.
Ministry is, obviously the word doesn't change, but ministry changes.
People change.
Absolutely. Culture changes.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want to reach people, we've got to be creative in doing that. So,
Yeah,
that's all I would say.
yeah, I think so. I think, and I don't know about you, but not to boast on yourself or anything, but like I think when coming from church, this church hasn't had a youth pastor for a while, and so one pastor can only do so much,
Right.
and to see another pastor come in and we actually start doing stuff with the youth, and like this past Veterans Day we helped out with the Veterans Day program. We served the veterans
nice.
food and stuff, and just to see like people, the older generation love to see it, and I love to see it too, but without another pastor to do it, it doesn't happen. And so you're seeing because church is often an older generational thing. We're losing a lot of the younger people in the churches today, and so to see I think that's good encouragement. And we need to be reaching out to the younger generation, not just teens, but young adults. And I think that's where we lack probably the most, honestly.
Agreed.
And so, because you got teens, you got the parents bringing in the teen.
Yeah.
But man, once they leave, once they graduate high school, you see maybe like one or two of them come back willingly.
Yep.
Less
than 4% stay in a church after they graduate from youth group.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 4%.
And think about even the lesser percentage of that actually go into ministry.
Oh man.
So it's insane. I'm sure there's a percentage out there, and I guarantee it's under 1%, because
have to be.
There's so many teens out there who don't go to church, and then the 4% that do most likely aren't doing ministry. But anyway, that can be another topic eventually, another day. But
for sure.
But it was an interesting week of football.
Oh,
it was
man,
great.
You killed me,
dude. I don't mean to toot my own horn, as they say. But this was a daggone good week for me. Okay,
we're not betters, but man, you need to. Like you'd have a
this
pass.
week alone.
You'd have a
this
pass.
week alone, dude. I'm terrible usually when it comes down to the gambling that I don't do. Like that the one night at college that we won't speak of. But anyway, if we want to go ahead and say the records for this past week,
I'll just say it.
I'll start off with yours. Okay. If I do recall, this is one of your only losing weeks. It was 5-9.
Oh goodness.
Now I got 12-2.
That is insane.
I should be 13-1 if the Bills didn't put a 12th man on the field.
Oh, I know.
So I'm still happy with 12-2.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah, you killed it.
Yeah,
you killed it.
And I got the Falcons. Not the Cardinals beat the Falcons. That's what I got wrong. And then the Broncos and Bills. So overall records now are you are sitting at 83-69.
Yeah.
And I'm at 91-61. So you're still
I'm in trouble.
You're still 8 spots behind.
I was one last year. Oh man.
So
happens. I'm coming back.
Yeah, it is what it is. Now I did want to do something. And we kind of forgot to do it a little bit ago. We said we were going to redo, if we wanted to, our MVP and Super Bowl picks.
Yeah.
So, if you want to, change yours because you may want to change yours.
Oh, I
and I may
definitely
want to. Let me just recap on what they were. Let me get
Justin
this.
Fields.
Yeah, you had Justin Fields as MVP. I
It
had
was a
Joe
bold
Burrow.
one. Yeah.
As MVP, and you had the Jets and the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and I had the Bengals and Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Right. You go first.
So we'll start off with MVP.
Okay.
Let me just say, I don't think I'm gonna get this right.
Okay.
I truly don't know if there'd been a quarterback this year that had been like, wow, he deserves MVP.
Yep.
So, am I biased? Absolutely. I think for the first time, I don't know if this is the first time actually, but I think for the first time in history, if not, you can let me know. I think a defensive player will win MVP this year. Okay. Am I going to be right? Am I going to be right?
There's no way.
Probably not. Think about this though. The fact that the Steelers are 6-3.
Oh, here we go.
The fact that we are 6-3. The fact that we've had 53 consecutive games under 400 yards.
And you're giving it to Minka Fitzpatrick.
It's going to be TJ Watt.
Okay.
Better than Joe Burrow. Because think about it. MVP, most valuable player. If TJ Watt was not on that field, we would be 2-7 right now. Maybe. That's a bold take. Okay? That's a bold take.
Yeah, I'm very confident you're not going to be right on that. But if you are, I won't be able to say anything.
Has a defense? I'm going to look it up just real quick. Go ahead, and
I'm gonna take a safe pick. I'm gonna go QB. The only reason I'm scared about this is because he's already won it twice. But I'm gonna go Lamar. I'm thinking he's gonna have. The Ravens have just been great. I think it could be Hurts. Jalen Hurts could definitely win it. But I'm gonna go Lamar. I'm gonna bank that they have a pretty strong finish to the year. And I'm gonna go Lamar.
That's a safe pick. And that's a good pick. I think honestly, out of the quarterback, it should be Lamar or Jalen.
Or CJ Stroud, man. I mean, honestly.
Well, okay. Yeah, you're right.
He's got a good argument. He really does.
He does. He definitely should win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's
but I did look it up. There has been two defensive players who won MVP.
Who was
Alan Page in 1971 and Lawrence Taylor in 1986.
I did know that. I did know he did.
So
they said
for the third time in history. Okay. If anything, TJ Watt will win Defensive Player of the Year. So
Garrett might have something to say about that. I don't know.
Anyways.
Okay, our Super Bowl prediction.
Super Bowl prediction. You can go ahead first this time.
Okay, I'm gonna keep the Eagles, but I'm gonna stick on this Lamar hype, and we're gonna go Ravens. Eagles.
That's a good call. I'm also gonna stick with my Eagles because, yeah, I think that they are insane this year.
They're insane. Yeah.
And I think it could be. Now I am going to hate to say this, but it could be down to them and the Cowboys, really, the way they've been playing.
Oh, agreed.
And yeah, I just don't want to hear Dallas fans, really either one of the fans, but
yeah,
I would prefer Philly fans than Dallas. But now AFC is a toss up. I mean, they're just
very close.
And I'm just gonna say it.
What are you gonna say?
I am just gonna say I'm rolling with the MVP vote. We're rolling for bold takes. We're rolling for bold takes.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say this now. If I'm right, it adds. Okay, if we get a perfect,
We can get points for this.
yes, we need points for this. So MVPs +5, and then each
Super Bowl
Super Bowl
should be
team
like, I was gonna say 10 or
for
either one.
for each.
So if you get them both right, you get 20 extra.
I like it. I
And
like it.
5 for the MVP.
I like how we're making this up halfway through the year, but that's fine.
Yes. Anyway, I'm gonna roll. This is as bold. I'm getting bold today. I feel confident.
Well, you were bold
12-2
last week, and yeah, so you deserve to be.
It's the Battle of Pennsylvania.
That'd be nuts. That'd be nuts.
It would be absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Will it happen? Probably not.
There's no way, but maybe. We'll see.
Dude, our defense, TJ Watt, if he does not win, if it's Micah Parsons, the NFL is rigged. I said it first.
It'd be deserving though. It would. He's a beast.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, on to this week. What an interesting episode for that already. Very bold.
I know. Before you get into predictions, I have to say about my team. I'm not as diehard as you are with the Steelers, obviously, but Watson is out for the year.
Yep.
And yeah, it's not been good. He's getting a lot of hate on the internet. We won't get into that, but it's been really rough.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't see us winning too many more games.
Yeah, and I'm glad you guys played us this week. So
yeah.
Now I did see something crazy. That Joshua Dobbs was on that roster at the beginning of this year, the Browns.
Yeah.
You guys could have had Joshua Dobbs.
I know.
Starting for you, which would have been great.
Does Mac Jones start this week?
Probably not.
I saw another rumor that they just cut ties with him, and then the Browns would have an opening. Now, I doubt that happens, but that would be interesting.
Yeah. I've also seen Johnny Manziel rumors to come back, which would be absolutely insane.
I would tune in, but no way.
Oh, it would be something else.
It would.
Either way, this Steelers at Browns game coming up is going to be something.
It's huge. Yeah, it's huge.
But this week we have the Falcons, Colts, Patriots, and Saints. So the Patriots aren't playing this coming week anyway, so they got time to figure out the QB room.
Oh, I thought it was next week. Okay, yeah.
So,
we'll see if he makes it to next week.
I don't think he's gonna make it. It's over for him there.
It's been really bad. Yeah.
So, anyways, tonight, big game, probably the best Thursday night game we've seen so far.
Maybe ever.
And
this is
it may be. Since Amazon took over, it's been bad. Okay.
Yeah.
But we have Bengals at Ravens.
Yep.
Huge game for the AFC.
Yep. I like them both.
Gonna take your Super Bowl pick?
But I'm gonna take the Ravens. I'm gonna take the Ravens in a shootout. I think there's gonna be 10 touchdowns tonight. I think they're gonna score a ton.
I think so too. I think this is the week I blow up on fantasy after I'm now 2-8. But I think the Bengals are going to do it away.
Okay.
So I picked the Bengals.
They've been rolling. Both teams have been, which is why I think it's so good.
Yeah. Now the Bengals did lose to the Texans last week.
Yeah.
Which Texans are on a hot streak right now. So
Stroud is dialed in. Yeah.
I mean, he is absolutely fire.
Yeah.
You already know my next pick. Steelers at Browns.
I'm just going to go against you and try and get a game on you. Everything tells me I should not, but I'm going to pick my team, the Browns.
That's right. Raiders at Dolphins.
I'm going to take the Dolphins in pretty convincing fashion, even though the Raiders do look a little bit better now. But
They do, and they're looking like an actual football team now.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins they're too good.
Yeah.
Bears at Lions.
Lions.
Justin Fields is back.
Yep. I don't think it'll matter that much. I honestly, I think Justin Fields. Obviously, I had a lot of faith in him at the start of the year. Thought he could even break out as an MVP, but that team looked better with Bajan.
I think so too.
I mean, it's crazy to say. It's crazy to say, but they did. Fields is by far the more talented guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the teams that would sign Bajan, I don't think any would sign him as a starting quarterback. Right now, he's still so young, but man, they looked better with him. So
I'm really surprised they're trying to just throw Justin Fields right back into it. Honestly, I thought they might just get rid of him. I
well,
thought
man, what
at
do they
least
do?
or at least just tank for Caleb Williams.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're going to get one of those top picks.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a chance to get Williams, they're going to take it. So then, what do you do with Fields?
You got to trade him before his stock goes down even more. Honestly.
Oh man, it's wild. Because he's still. I mean, we were talking. It was him and Trevor Lawrence, and that was like he was kind of in those Caleb Williams talks. Now Williams is one of the most hyped guys ever, but
Yeah.
Fields was so hyped, and he's had some
Yeah.
good moments. It's just man, that Bears team, it's tough. It is tough.
Yeah. And I think Tyson. Listen, you put Tyson on the 49ers. I think he still had just as good as Brock Purdy. In my opinion, I think he could do just as good throwing the ball to and many targets as the 49ers have.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Purdy. You
I
take
think I
away
could
some
throw
of
to
the,
the 49ers.
That's what I'm saying. I think I could facilitate the 49ers offense.
Yes.
I mean, it is handed to Brock Purdy. Not saying he's not good.
No, I like him. I like Purdy. But
I think he's not as good as everybody's making him out to be.
Maybe.
I'm also going to pick the Lions. I don't know how we got to where we were, but
I don't either. That's okay.
That's okay. We can do what we want. So, Titans at Jaguars.
Jaguars get one back this week.
Yeah. Against the Titans, mayonnaise man himself. So
not much going. Yep.
That's just disgusting.
Oh,
I don't know how he even. That had to be a dare at some point, and he got money to try, and then he liked it and gets sponsored by helmets. I mean, good.
That is wild.
Chargers at Packers.
Chargers let me down last week. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to go Chargers just because I'm not sold on the Packers. But
yeah, I'm going to pick the Packers here.
Okay.
I think they look decent, and we still beat them somehow. But
yeah,
they looked okay. Their run game is decent. They actually put Aaron Jones on the field.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
But Cardinals at Texans. Cardinals at Texans.
Hurry back. I don't know. I'm still going to go. I'm going to go Texans just because of how hot they've been.
Yeah. I don't think you can go against. I'm surprised that was much of a debate for you.
I liked the way the Cardinals looked last week.
They do have Kyler back. I did kind of forget about that.
Yeah.
So they did barely beat. Who did they barely beat? The Falcons.
It was the Falcons. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Cowboys at Panthers.
Oh, Cowboys! Come on. Yeah, the Panthers just have nothing. I mean, they just don't have nothing going for them.
Nothing working for them. That's another team. First round draft pick. Bryce Young, not doing too hot.
But man, the number one pick. When you had a chance to get Stroud, you had a chance to get Richardson. Man, Will Levis looks better than Bryce Young. I mean, it's sad, but it
is. Yeah. Giants at Commanders.
Oh man, this is bold. I'm probably way off. I'm predicting a huge Saquon Barkley game, and I'm going to go Giants.
Giants.
Probably not a smart pick,
Probably
but
not. I'm
I'm
gonna
going to take it.
Commanders.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Commanders.
that's the smart one, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a bold take. I've been a little bit too safe.
Yeah. Bucks at 49ers.
49ers.
I woke up feeling dangerous this morning.
No, you aren't.
I'm gonna take the Bucks here.
And you'll probably get it right this time.
I don't know what's up with me this year. I've been taking some bold predictions and they work out. Baker Mayfield, man, he's a dog, and they don't look that bad. He's not had a bad year.
No, he's been good. He has.
Is he the best quarterback in the league? No doubt. There's nothing about that. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not the best quarterback, but again, he's doing something. So.
Yeah.
Jets at Bills.
That's Bills. I'll go Bills. I want to go Jets, but I'm going to go Bills. They've got to win this one. They have to.
They do. Everybody's been hating on Josh Allen, and rightfully so. But man, somehow he is still the number one fantasy player right now.
I know.
Is that not insane?
It is.
And I'm going to bet against him this week because the Jets are going to win.
You're going to go Jets.
I'm going to go Jets. I think the Bills have a complete fallout. I don't think the Bills make the playoffs. I think Diggs is going to leave. I think Diggs is leaving after this year. He's not staying with the Bills.
For sure.
And I think Josh Allen's going to have nobody to throw to next year. Hopefully it's Gabe Davis because I traded for that man.
It's crazy because, I mean, if you saw the interviews, I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, when Diggs was talking Josh Allen saved his career. I mean, he said that in an interview, Mm-hmm. Now to see that till where the relationship is today, it's kind of tough to see. Yeah. Yeah. Because I like Allen. I like Josh Allen.
I do too. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's one of my favorite to watch. I mean, he's a huge man.
He just takes too many risks.
But
that's what makes him good.
He throws the ball up.
Right.
So, yeah.
Too many quarterbacks are afraid of the turnover. I think that's what makes him good. He's not afraid of it. Obviously, he leads in it, but he's not afraid to turn the ball over. He takes risks. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Seahawks at Rams.
I'll go Rams in a low-scoring game.
Yeah. I'm going to go Seahawks here. I think the Seahawks are decent enough to beat the Rams. Matthew Stafford is supposed to be back.
That's what I was thinking.
So, yeah. Vikings at Broncos. Sunday Night Football. How are the Broncos on so many? Okay.
Well, you get Sean Payton, but
yeah.
I'm gonna go Vikings, man. Dobbs looks great.
I am too. I'm a bit. I like Dobbs. I saw something crazy the other day. Kind of goes against my whole Super Bowl pick this year, but somebody was saying the Vikings roll with Dobbs, and they just let Kirk walk because he's a free agent after this year.
Right.
Kirk goes to a different team. Kirk decided to join the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Kenny Pickett would sit under Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk would look great in a Pittsburgh uniform and do well on our team. He's a great quarterback. Now, do I want that to happen? I don't know. I think, yeah. We'll see.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Monday Night Football, Super Bowl rematch at the Chiefs.
I'm going to take a prime Pat Mahomes game. I'm going to take the Chiefs. And that's going against my Super Bowl prediction, but I'm going to take a big time Pat Mahomes game. And they beat him. But the Eagles are going to want this one bad. They're going to want that one back.
Dude, okay. I am so tired of the Chiefs. Okay. I mean, it just Taylor Swift and then Patrick Mahomes, which it is what it is. Okay, he's a great quarterback. But man, they are just they know they are good. And I'm just ready for them to get I'm gonna call it. I'm picking the Eagles. And they're winning by more than 2 scores. I'm calling it right now.
Okay.
Eagles have something to prove.
So much momentum. Yeah.
And I think they will at home at the Chiefs. I think they will put it to the Chiefs this week. So
let's see.
That's my bold prediction. Hopefully, I have another 12-2 week. That'd be great.
Oh man, I'm hoping not.
But yeah, I don't know either. But are you doing anything crazy for Thanksgiving? Are you just going home or?
So I'll be staying around home. A lot of my family's pretty close. So yeah, just trying to make my rounds and get to everybody. It's nice that everybody's close. It's just tough trying to get to see everybody. And spend enough time. But yeah, it'll be busy, but at least it's all pretty close. So
yeah, we'll be going to my mom's house. I'll be in the family's in Wisconsin, so
okay.
We won't be going there.
Yeah,
but should be a good time. I'm looking forward to food and so football, of course. You can't have Thanksgiving without football, man.
So probably no podcast next week.
Probably not, unless we decide to do it early.
Yeah.
Which we could, but we'll see. If anything, we'll get the prediction together.
Yeah. Pretty good.
We'll let you guys know either next week or the week after. So,
we
thank you guys for sticking around, listening to us. A longer one today. We just have to talk a lot, but that's okay. But anyway, hope you guys have happy Thanksgiving. If we don't see you next week, if so, we'll tell you again next week. But I hope you guys have a good day.
See you all.